In this video, I'm going to show you how to create this rental booking website where people can book and rent out cameras. It can be any equipment, and you can create this using WordPress using a free plugin. And first of all, I'll be showing you how you can enable that when your website visitors come to your website, they're able to come over here and check availability of a specific equipment. So in this case, if someone wants to rent a camera, they can just select the days over here, and then they'll see the available cameras that they can rent from this store. And when they click over there on the camera thumbnail, it gives them the description and what kind of camera it is. All this information can be added by you in WordPress. And here someone can select how many units they want to book of that camera, and they can go ahead over here to book the item. It will give them a summary and the total price that they'll be paying, and then come over here to the checkout and be able to add their personal details and then check out and finally book that equipment or camera in this case. Now, when you come here in the dashboard as the website visitor, you'll find that there is an order. So when you come under calendar, under bookings, and once you open up that booking, it will show what the client booked, if there are any special notes, and their names and details and the cameras they booked and the total amount of money that they had to pay for that specific booking. So in just under 1 hour, I'll not only show you how to add the forms and notifications, but I'll also show you how to get a domain name for your business, just like this over here. When someone goes to this domain name, then they are able to access your website with free SSL, free backups, free security management, and overall good performance and available customer support in case you have any questions. So if you ever wanted to rent out any items, either nightly, hourly, or daily, in WordPress it's possible, and I'll be showing you exactly how to do that in this video. So without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, to get started to build our rental website using WordPress in just under 1 hour, in front of me is my tech stack, or all the tools that I'm going to be using in this video, and I hope you can follow along with me. I have my ChatGPT here because it's going to help me generate a prompt, and right over here I have ZipWP, which is going to help me generate the WordPress website. And I have MotoPress, which is a free booking calendar plugin that we can use to do hourly and nightly and daily bookings using WordPress. And right over here I have Cloudways, where we are going to be hosting our WordPress website. Super performance, great support, and they have also a quick WordPress install. So I'll be showing you entirely how you can set up WordPress on Cloudways in this video as well. And then we shall be getting our domain from Hostinger and connect it to our Cloudways applications so that everything works out smoothly. By the end of the video, you should be able to share your rental website to your website visitors or your potential clients, and they can start booking rentals right away. We are going to come straight here to ZipWP. I'll be leaving a link right down in the description of this video if you are new to ZipWP, but I also have a full playlist of how you can use ZipWP to generate WordPress websites. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say generate a complete new website. This is after you sign up for ZipWP. They also offer a free account to start up, where you can also generate, I think, 3 sites for free. And yeah, so here I'll say start over. I'll give the name of the website that I want to create, and it's going to be a local business, and it will be in English. Next. Now here I have to enter a prompt. A prompt is something that is going to describe what my website is going to do, what it will be about, to help ZipWP understand why I'm creating this website, for who, for why, and for what. And here is why I need ChatGPT at the moment. I asked it to generate for me a prompt that I can use to generate this website in ZipWP. So here is the prompt, but I can still make some changes to this prompt and make it really custom to what I want. So what I'm going to do right now, everything looks okay. I don't have to change anything. But with ZipWP, you have the option to ask it to improve the prompt right over here, which I'm not going to be doing. I'm not interested in that. So I'll just go back here and use my original prompt. And there I start to say, okay, next step, it will ask me for my email. This is the email that will be also like the administrator email for the website that you're going to generate, and the phone number. This phone number will also be used on the contact details of, when the website is generated. I mean, on the contact page and anywhere where the contact information will be needed. And here I'll enter the address. This is just a dummy address, so don't take it any serious. I'll say next. And here it will give me some images that I can select from because I'm in 2 camera rentals. So it will also suggest some camera equipment and stuff like that. But I can as well search for camera equipment right over here in the search bar. Images you get here are royalty free, so you can use them in any way that you want on your websites without any worry. So I'll just select. I can also look up images of the city. I don't see any real typical Vienna city image. Maybe this one. Yeah, this is the typical one for Vienna, but I'm not so sure if... Yeah, I think this is a real typical image. Outside that, I have so far selected 16 images. Maybe I need 4 more images. So I am. This looks good from Vienna. And I'll look up for some camera shop images. This looks good. Sometimes this, image library, it doesn't give me the kind of images that I want to use or to have. But yeah, I'll just work with what I have. The other thing I have to mention is that you can also upload your own images right over here. So when I click here, I can upload my own custom images. But for now, I don't have the time to go ahead and add custom images. I'll just use what I have here. And I just need to select one more image. Maybe this one. Good. Next, we are now going to select from the layouts that ZipWP gives you. It automatically has these layouts that they created in their system, and from these layouts you can select like the kind of web design layout that you want to use, and you are good to go in just a snap. All right, so here we go. From the last time I checked, they have over 70 layouts in total that you can choose from. The worst should be that at least they are the same amount of layouts that are here. But for now, I am looking for, I don't know, maybe this can work. Yeah, this looks good. And here I can try to switch the colors and the theme. I think I'll go with this. This looks good for me. Yeah, that looks good for me. I can also try to change the typography. I think I'll just... Let me see the first option. First option looks good. I'll say continue. And here ZipWP will ask me which other features do I want to have on this image. So, sorry, on this website. I don't need the automations and integrations, but unfortunately the others, I cannot deselect them. I cannot select that I don't want a contact form, that I want a blog, but I can disable those from the editor, the WordPress editor, once I get the generated site. So for now, I'm going to say start building. This should be able to generate me a website in under 60 seconds. So the clock is ticking. Awesome. Congratulations to us, to me, to you also watching this video, that we have generated our first WordPress website. Now let's go and have a look at how this website looks like. I'll just click over here. Here ZipWP takes me to a page that shows how the website should be looking like, but this is not how it should look like. There's probably a problem. Let me reload. Yeah, now looks like magic. Our website is having 1, 2, 3, 4 pages, and it has the hero section. It shows some camera stuff here, some statistics. Of course, these images can be changed and put whatever you want. Also here it takes us to a brief about section, and here it shows that we offer camera rentals, lens rentals, microphone rentals, and call to action. And here you can choose, select the gear, the process of actually renting out stuff. You choose the gear, you select the dates, and then confirm the rental. Exactly, this is the process that we are going to be using in this video. Now here we have some testimonials from former clients, and again a call to action. So the service, the about page in this case, also talks about our shop, what we've been doing. We are based in Vienna. As you can see some pictures from Vienna, our core values, and all that stuff. I like how ZipWP actually tries to connect the images to what the content is saying. And yeah, it brings out the image or the picture of how you want your homepage to be. Now here we have our services. We offer camera rentals, lens rentals, microphone rentals, drone rentals. I didn't select any images of drones. I don't know why. How I forgot about that. So anyway, we are going to also customize this page by adding our calendars, so that when people come on this page, they are able to actually select a date and be able to book our gadgets. All right, so we have a blog which we don't need. We can disable that from the back end and remove it, or you can just leave it and use it in case you want to be blogging or adding or creating content for your WordPress website. Now here under the contact, of course, this contact page, you remember the contact information we added, it is right over here. Now, what are we supposed to do at the moment? So we need to have our website on a hosted environment. Right now it is seated on ZipWP servers. We cannot just send out this to our website visitors. We need to put it on our hosting provider. In this case, we are going to be using Cloudways, and then we need to get a domain name, so that when people go to the internet and enter our domain name, that domain will point to our website and they're able to access our content and also reserve or book equipment or rent equipment in this case. So to do that, we are going to first get back here to ZipWP. I'm going to close this window. I'm going to come here to Sandbox Sites, and here I'm going to go straight into the WP admin area, and here is where we are able to install a backup and migration plugin to be able to move the website from ZipWP to Cloudways. So let's go here, plugins, come to add a plugin, and here we'll look up for WP Vivid. Shows up right here. Install, activate our WP Vivid, and boom, just like that. Let's create a backup of our website. This just takes maximum 1 to 3 minutes and we are good to go. By the way, if you are watching this channel for the very first time and you're not subscribed, make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials like this, where I show you an entire process of how you can create your digital presence. In this case, how to build websites on WordPress, and also sometimes I show you tutorials on how you can fix a few things in your WordPress website. So if you are new here, you're welcome, and I'm happy that we can ride on a new journey together. Also check out the links in the description of this video for more information about this video. We have our backup created, and what we are going to do at the moment is to download this backup. Once our download is finished, we are now going to go here to Cloudways. You remember that we are going to use Cloudways for hosting. So we need to move this website here to Cloudways. We're going to come to our Cloudways account. I already have a server set up in Cloudways, and to get started with Cloudways, you can actually start for free for 3 days. You don't have to pay anything. You don't have to add your credit card information, and you can try it out for 3 days. Once you're happy, you can proceed. So at the moment, I have a server. This is my server. It has dedicated resources, and that means that you only pay for the resources that you use from Cloudways. And that's one thing I love about Cloudways, and I'm happy to recommend them for people who have traffic heavy websites or people who are really needing more resources and performance. So I have a server here already set up, and what I'm going to do is to add a new application, and I'll select the server where this application will be created. And here Cloudways asks me, what kind of application do I want to install on this server? So Cloudways by default has these applications that you can install, and they also have a specific optimized WordPress version like you see over here. And here you see basic WordPress. This means that you can install the WordPress app, which is not optimized by Cloudways. I can choose any of these here, so I'll say basic WordPress, no Cloudways optimization, and here I'll give a name to my application, and here I'll select a project where I just want it to say this is not so important. This is like a category or categorizing where your application will be. The most important is choosing what kind of application you want to install, and then also giving that application a name so that you can identify that application from the other applications that are on your server. So I'm going to say add application, and I'll skip this for now. And here Cloudways will start installing WordPress on the server and setting up everything, the database, creating the username, creating the passwords and everything. And I just have to come back and access the application. So this will take about 2 minutes. All right, so we have our application now installed on our Cloudways server. And when I come here to applications, I should be able to see my new application, which is HK Camera Rental. When I click over there, it takes me to this access details page. And here is where I can make any custom changes on my application. You can create a staging environment. You can monitor how it is performing, the analytics in this case. You can see the application security and management and see what is happening right over there. You can connect a domain to this application like I'm going to be showing you later on in this video. You can create an SSL certificate. You can do backups and restoration. Everything Cloudways has it here inbuilt. So you literally can put your hands on the core hardware and the software of your application on Cloudways. So to get started here, under my access details, I'm going to click here on the application URL. This should be able to take me to see how my website is looking like at the moment. So this is what Cloudways has created for me. It is basically the default installation of WordPress. But what we want is basically to be able to access the admin area. We are going to change this website from this to this here by simply uploading our backup and restoring that website on our Cloudways application. So back here, I'm going to now need to come here and copy my username and come here to Cloudways and paste it here. Come back here, copy the password of the application and paste that password here, and then log in. It's showing me not correct user login details. Could be I didn't copy the password. Great, I'm in. I had copied a wrong password. Now we are logged into our dashboard of our Cloudways application. We're going to come straight here to plugins, come to add a new plugin. I'm going to say here WP Vivid. This is a plugin that we use to back up our website, and it's the one we are going to use it to restore the website onto our Cloudways application. So I'll install it. I will now activate it, and boom, there it goes. We are now going to upload our backup file. So here is our backed up file. I will upload it and finally say upload. This will take just 1 to 3 minutes, and then we are able to restore this website on our Cloudways application, and we are good to get started adding our booking calendar. Good, so our upload is finished, and I say okay here, and what I have to do is now say restore this upload, and I click here on the restoration button. I confirm. Then now WP Vivid takes over, restoring this website on our Cloudways application. Okay, so it's giving me a critical error message over here after finishing the restoration, but I think I just need to reload here so that this disappears. Normally it shouldn't be like this, but if it shows up, just reload the page. And now we have to enter in our username and password. Now, the username and password we are going to enter here is not the username you got from Cloudways. It's not this here. It is a username for the generated website that you generated from ZipWP. And to get those login details, just come here and click on the app, the 3 buttons here, and say login credentials. Copy those login credentials, come here to your Cloudways application or the website you are restoring, paste the login here or the user, come back here, copy the password, and come back here and then paste that password and then say login. The reason why we use the logins from ZipWP is because we have now moved the old website to the new application on Cloudways, and this website comes with its own login details, and those login details we get them from ZipWP. So here I'll confirm that the email is correct, and here we go. Now I am going to first come here and visit the website and see how it looks like. Awesome, so our website looks just like we expect it. Forget the critical error message that you saw. It's working, it has restored, and everything works just fine. Now our website is seated on Cloudways, just like you can see here. It's seated on a Cloudways subdomain, cloudwaysapp.com. And now we can say we can forget about ZipWP in case you want to come back and use this password, or in case you want to change the passwords and just use the passwords that are okay for you. You can come here to dashboard and come here to users. You can say add a new user, and this new user, you can create that new user with a new email address and add first name, last name, and give them a password that you want to use. Don't forget to change the role details here. Give them administrator in case you want them to be administrators. And that means that every time you come back here to your WordPress website. So before I go into showing you how to log in and log out of your WordPress website, let me just show you one thing. In case you're still building your website on Cloudways, it is best that you first go here to Cloudways and disable the caching. It is called Vanish in this case, because you don't want to have conflicts where you have made changes but you cannot see them on the front end. When you come back to your application in Cloudways, just come here to application settings and say Vanish and disable. So this is like disabling the cache on Cloudways. After your website is built up, then you can come back here and enable that cache, and that means that your website cache will be saved, and whenever your website visitors visit your website, it loads faster for them. Back here to our dashboard, we are going to look at our website. So that's how it looks like on the front end. Everything looks nice and neat, and if I come here and say log out, and it will take me here to the login screen, and basically this is how it should look like on the front end when your website visitors visit your website at the moment. But we cannot share our website at the moment because we have not yet made any changes that we want, and also it has this domain here, so I'll be showing you later on in this video how we can connect a custom domain to this application. But for now, if you want to log into your website or back into your website, you can just come over here, add a / and say wp-admin. It takes you back to this screen, and here you enter in the username and password that you set. Great, now we are back into our dashboard. We don't need ZipWP anymore for now. Best to do is to save your login credentials in a safe place, which you have right now that you have set up for the username and the password, so that every time you come back, you don't have to go back to Cloudways to reset the password and then or look for the password. That is very important that you save it in a safe place, and then you can always, go back up and use it whenever you need it. Now I'll close ZipWP because I don't need it anymore, and I'll also close this page here because I don't need it anymore. I'll also close this over here because I don't need it anymore. So now what we need is our application, which is seated on Cloudways, and now we need to add our booking calendar, which is from MotoPress. So to get started on adding our booking calendar, we are going to come here to plugins, add a new plugin. But before we do add a new plugin, let's see which plugins we have installed at the moment. We have Spectra, we have Sure Forms, we have Sure SEO, and the WPV backup and migration plugin. For now, we don't need this because we have already used it to restore our website. There is Sure Rank. We don't need this at the moment. We are not going to configure any SEO rankings. That can be in a separate tutorial. In case you guys watching this video and you want to see a video about Sure Rank or optimizing your website to rank in the search engine, please let me know down in the comments of this video. For now, we only need these two plugins because Sure Forms is the one that is helping us to be contacted on the contact page at the moment. And now we need to add our new plugin, which is from MotoPress. So when you come here to add a new plugin, what I'm going to do is I'll leave the link to this plugin in the comments of this video. So it's a free plugin, and if you want to try it out, you can check it out always. So I'll search for it here. It's relatively a new plugin, but when I tested it out, I realized it is actually very easy to create hourly, nightly, and daily bookings, and that's why I've considered it as well in this video, so that you can enable people to book or rent equipment from your company. So I'll install it here and activate it. So it is installed. Here it will show as calendar, and when I come here to settings, I have the option to confirm the booking confirmation automatically or manually by admin or upon payment. This option works only when you have the pro version of the hotel booking, calendar. At the moment, we are only using the free version, so I'll leave it to confirm automatically. Here you can set, the currency that you want to be receiving the payments in. And here is the administrator email, which we already confirmed. And if you want to change it, you can change it from here and put an email that you want to be able to receive the notifications from your website whenever a new booking, cancellation, or whatever shows up. Now, that is done. From here, we have made the basic setting that we wanted. And what we have to do at the moment is come here to calendars and start creating our first calendar. So say add a new calendar. It will ask me a label. So here the label is cameras, because I want to create a calendar for cameras that are available to be rented. I will say I have multiple units and it's daily booking. So when someone comes to my shop and they book a camera, they can book it for the entire day. I don't have things like only booking for an hour, but that is also possible with the MotoPress Booking Calendar, that people are able to book an item hourly. So I'll say daily. Here it takes me into a wizard which guides me around, so I'm not interested in that. But I think I wanted to use the name cameras, not cameras, so I'll edit that up real quick at the moment. Save changes. Back here, calendars. So now I have it as cameras. Good. Now I have to make changes and make sure that my availability dates for booking cameras is set, and also the prices and the different variations or units that I also have for this specific camera. So I'm going to start by, first of all, setting a date range. So from today on the 29th of October until 29th of, until end of July, which is next year, cameras are able to be booked. So I'm going to say update. So here I have the option to set, the different units that I have for a specific variation. So here I'm going to add the title. In this case, I'm going to add the real name of the camera that can be booked. So here is the name of the camera, a small detail about that camera. I'll be showing you where these details are showing up when someone wants to book this camera. And then a description. This is the full description of the camera, and at the moment I will add an image of that camera. This image shows up also when someone is in the booking process. They'll see how this camera looks like. There is the image of my camera. I'll upload it. I'll add the alt text as well. So there we go. Now I have different units for this same camera. So let me assume I have 3 units. So I'll just say here, add a unit. And you see it's able to add units here. There we go. We have our 3 units of this camera added. And what I'm going to say is save. And this will show the different units or the inventory right over here. Now we have to add the days and availability of these cameras. That is done over here in the bulk edit option. And here I can see that the already selected date for this calendar is from 29th of October to 31st of July. And these are the available dates to be booked for this camera. And here I can select that, hey, whatever I'm setting right over here, the pricing and availability, it applies to all the cameras. If it only applies for selected cameras or selected units, you can disable that over here. And then I'm going to add the price tag. So it is €89 in this case. So I'll say save changes, and you will see that here it will populate the availability. And now I'll say close. So if a camera is available, it shows in green. If it is booked, it will show with this sign over here. And just like the legends show, it will keep updating in real time whenever there is a booking for a camera. This has been for the EOS, the Canon camera called EOS R5. But I also have another camera that can be booked. And that camera is a Sony camera. So I can say add a variation. And here I can start adding the details, title of the camera. After adding the small detail, then you add the description, what the camera does, basically to describe it to people who want to book it. And here I'll add the image. There comes the image of the camera. And I save changes. Now we have created a new variation. And this is a different camera that is also bookable on our website. Now we can also add units. So I'll come over here and say add a unit. So add another unit and then add another unit. I love this when it automatically picks up the name and then adds just the number of that unit. So I can say I have like 5 units of this camera. So it goes back to what you want. If you delete the unit, it also automatically updates. So if I say I only have 2 units and that's how it will look like, I'll say save changes. And there we go. Now we also have to create the availability date and time. Okay, in this case, the only days because we don't offer hourly bookings. So I'll say bulk edit. These 2 cameras are available and can be booked from, hey, guess which price? Yeah, I'll say €79. So per day. And then here I'll say save changes. The thing that you have to pay attention to is these days up here, the days of the month which this camera can be booked. So here save changes, and it should be able now to populate the availability for all those cameras right over here. Now I'm going to say close. Now, once we are done creating our variation for the different cameras that are available to be booked, we have to create a form that people are going to use to fill in when they are booking this camera. So we are going to say here, add a new form. Takes me into a wizard, which I don't want. So here we'll collect some information from the client. So for instance, here I'll say add a country widget where we can ask where the client comes from. And also we can add a short description or a short answer. So this can be a special request. And we can also add a terms and conditions, so people can accept our terms and conditions. You can link to the terms and conditions page by selecting it here and then link to the terms and conditions page by pasting the URL of that page. I don't have that page at the moment. I'll just add a hash symbol and that's all. Now we are collecting the name of the person, the email, the phone number, the country, a special request in case they have any. Right down below here, it will show automatically which camera is available to be booked on those days and which units are available to be booked for that specific camera. You can also add some widgets here to customize the experience of the user, but I'll leave it as it is for now, and I'm going to say create this form. Now, when you click over here and go back a bit, you can customize, you can make a custom change right over here over which kind of currency you are collecting, for the figures that are showing for your clients. But the most important thing is we want to add a notification. So a notification is whenever a booking comes in or a cancellation or anything that happens in this process, when the client is trying to book, you receive a notification as the administrator, but also the client receives a notification. So first of all, we are going to select a template, and here is going to be for, we want to receive a notification when a new booking comes in. So I'll say cameras new booking notification. This is for the admin, and automatically it will show us right over here what kind of information is being collected on the form that we have already created. Now, what does that mean? That means that we can go ahead and customize the information that is appearing right over here. So here it shows that it will give us a booking link of where that booking is on our website. That will appear over here when we log into our dashboard, and the reservations will show the name of the person, the variation they selected, the other fields that have also been filled in, and also here it will show the total price, the amount that is due, the customer info, and all that stuff. But remember, we added some custom fields, like for example special requests. We can also copy some of these shortcodes and add that data right over here so that it can also be collected. You can also customize how these look like. If this is just what is showing up in here, you cannot know what is being collected, but you can go back here. So for now, I'm going to say update. You can go back here on your form, and for the special request, you can rename this to, instead of this random generated text, you can say special -text and save changes. You can also decide to make it required or not required. I think it's better when I make it not required. And here for the country, it is also having this randomly generated shortcode. I'll delete that and just save changes. And for the terms and conditions, here I'll just also remove this and say terms-conditions. And I'll say save changes. Now, when we come back here to our notification form and scroll down below here, you see that now the text has changed and updated, and we can now just copy these shortcodes and also add them right over here in case you want to also see it specifically here. That shows you that you can go ahead and customize whatever is appearing in this notification email that you are going to receive as an administrator. Now, once that is done, you are going to say save changes. We need to create a new notification, but this is going to be for the customer. So I'll say add a new notification, and this is going to be customer. And select the form which this notification is attached to, and select the template, and we say new booking customer, right? So we save changes, and now it will also show us the email template, And we can also customize that email template by adding our custom fields right over there. This is just for demo purposes. Once you send out test emails and you see that some of these fields are repeated, you can come back here and change them or update them. I'll delete this and just leave what I want. So I'm going to now say save changes, and for you who is going to run this rental store, you will have to go back here and add a new notification and create a notification for all of these, probably if you want to collect or send out notifications for when the payment is received by you, and also send the same notification to the client when the payment has been made. Now, I have a full tutorial on how you can set this up and also connect Stripe, and you can check it out in the links in the description of this video in case you want to see how that works out. Now that we have finished creating the first calendar for our cameras, remember our shop has, let me show you here, I'll reload. Our shop has a services page, and people can actually rent cameras, they can rent lenses, they can rent microphones, they can rent drones. You can create a calendar for each of those here. So you can come and say, create a calendar for rentable lenses, create a calendar for rentable drones from your store. And each of those calendars can be attached to the service right over here. Now we are going to go back into our WordPress dashboard, and we're going to create a page which these buttons are going to be redirecting to, and that is like the rental page. So when someone clicks on book now, they can be taken to that rental page. So back here in our dashboard, we are going to close this up. We don't need it, and we close this as well because we don't need it. So we are here, we're going to come to pages, but before we go to pages, we don't want to create the entire page from scratch. What I'm going to do in this case is to duplicate the services page. So I'll come here to the plugins area. I'll add a new plugin, and I'll get a duplicator plugin. This is basically to duplicate a post or a page. And once I'm done, I don't need it anymore. So I'm going to say install and activate the plugin. This is the process I love about WordPress, installing, uninstalling plugins. Yeah, it just feels nice when you just press the button and things work. But thinking about what it takes to create them, yeah, that's another story. Now, when I come here to plugins, not plugins, but when I come back here to pages, and you see here on the services page, I have this option called duplicate this. So I have now duplicated that. When I come back here to plugins, I'm going to delete this plugin because I no longer need it. I only needed it to duplicate that page. Come back here to pages, I'll say edit. I'll change the name here to rental. And you also see that the slug for the page, or the URL for the page, has now changed. And I can now change things here. Yeah, rent gear. Now I can make changes to the page. Yeah, so I'll change this background image on this calendar. So I'll just come over here and select, maybe this image. I can position it just like that. So down below here, I can also go ahead and make changes to these images and just add the images that do really, connect to what you're talking about, like an image for microphones and an image for drones. Our interest right now is on this page. We have created a new page called rentals, and people can rent gear, and we are going to add a calendar here. So once you make the changes that you want, you can publish the page. And now once the page is published, we are going to link it up all over on the buttons. So here and also here, and you can go ahead and add that page to wherever that button is, being added on your WordPress website. So for now, we're going to come here to customize. So when I click on view the page, you see we have, this is the URL of the page. It ends with rental. So here under customize, I'm going to come here to the header, and you see we have this button here in the header. And there, instead of it going to the contact page, we want it to go to the rental page. Save changes. the other part we have it is here on the home page. We're going to close this up and come here to the home page and say edit the home page. And right over here, when we click on this button widget, we have the option of the call to action. We are going to also change that to rental and save changes. And if you view the page right now and someone clicks here on book now, you see it takes them to the rental page we created. And if I come back here to the home page and then I click here on the header on this button here, it should also take my website visitors to the rental page. Now, once that is now fixed, let's add our calendar here on the rental page. To do that, we are going to say edit because we are already on the rental page at the moment. And here under the camera option, we are going to add a new widget, and that widget is the calendar. So calendar, it's called booking calendar. We're going to just add it below there. And here we are going to select the calendar that we want our website visitors to use to book the cameras. So this calendar is for cameras that we created. And now we are going to do some settings. We want that, first of all, it only shows 1 month. That's it. And now we say save changes. Now, when we say view the page, it takes us back here. And now you see we have a calendar showing up here on the rentals, on the camera rentals section. And when I navigate like this, you see that the dates are available until, is it 31st of June or 31st of July? You see, after 31st of July, people are not able to book cameras. But also we have the filter here, and this filter enables that people are able to select which results they want to see or which booking dates are available for a specific camera. So if some cameras are out of stock or they have already been booked up or rented, so that means that you cannot hire or get them. I can clear the filter just like that. So let me try to look up for cameras from the 30th to the 2nd. You see that we have this EOS Canon available, and also we have the Sony available. When I click on this, it gives me this pop-up where it shows me the details. Remember the details that we added that describe what the camera is about. The other thing is we can also see here the details for the other Sony. This can be, you know, a few descriptions of how you want people maybe to handle the camera or what the camera does. So just like that, if someone wants to book 2 units of the Canon EOS R5, they can just say, I want to book 2 units, and then they say book. If they want this one, the Sony, here they can only book 2 units because you remember in our units under the variation, we only set 2 units for this camera. For now, we want to say we want to book 2 units of the Canon, and then we say checkout. Now here it gives us this form. You remember this form that we created together, and where we ask for the name and all that stuff. So I think it is best that I use a private browser to do this rental. In this private browser, I'll go to the rental page, just like that, just like any other normal person can visit or could visit the website. I'll select this date range, and then I select this camera, the Canon. I want to book 2 units, and then I say checkout. Here I'll add the name. I'll add a dummy phone number. I'll add a phone, the country. And then I select, if in case I want any special requests, I'll say, and here I have to accept the terms and conditions, and then I say book right now. Just like that, you see the reservation has been confirmed. It shows the booking ID, it shows the number, the price, and the email address. You should be able to receive an email in your inbox, and also your customer should be able to receive an email in their inbox about this reservation. And now when we come back here to our WordPress and we go here to the dashboard, we should be able to see the same booking. So here, when I come here to calendar, you see I come to the bookings area. You see I have a new booking, which has been confirmed for cameras. And when I open this, it should be able to show me the person, the country, and all those details of the person that booked. So just like you see over right here. How easy can this get, really? Just like this, in a few steps, we have our calendar added and people are able to start making their bookings or rentals of our cameras from our website. Now, we have one last assignment to do, and that is to connect a new domain or a domain to our hosting so that we can fully have a functioning website. Now, to do that, we are going to come over here to Hostinger. So Hostinger provides both domains and hosting, but in this case, I'll be using it only to provide or to get a domain name. So I come over here to domains. I'll say add a new domain or get a new domain. I'll come over here and search. So HK Camera Rental. I look it up here. I see there is some options. I'll just say hkcamerarental.com. Let me see, is it available? It looks like someone already bought this domain. I even don't know who this person is. Let me see, which shop is that? HK Camera Rental. Actually, there is a camera rental shop called HK. What? This is by surprise. I'm going to now change this name and say HK Media Rental. Let me see if that is available. Yeah, HK Media Rental. So this looks like it's available, and I'm going to say book this domain for now, and I'll just book it for 1 year. I have my payment method connected, and I'll just say pay this up at the moment. Just like that, I now own a domain called HK Media Rental, and Hostinger is now doing the final touches and preparing the domain. And yep, so I'll say continue to start using my domain. I'll say skip this. So under my domain, I'll come here to name servers, and I'm going to make changes to these name servers. I'm going to add a CNAME and an A record, and these are going to point back to Cloudways. So to do that, you see under Cloudways, we have the option called domain management. And right now we have this subdomain that is provided by Cloudways for free. So you can build websites and have everything prepared. And then once you are happy, then you can go ahead and purchase a domain. So I'll say add a domain, and here it will ask me to add that domain. So to do that, I'm going to say our domain is HK Media Rental, and I'll say save changes. And as you see right now, we have our domain added here, but we are not yet done. We have to go back here to our Hostinger account and update some details. So in this case, the access details for this application, we have to point to our IP address so that now Hostinger and Cloudways can work together. Hostinger can know that this is the application where I have to send website visitors who visit this domain. So I'm going to come over here and click. So under the CNAME, we are simply going to say edit and then update. Just make sure that the value, the target is HK Media Rental, and say update. And we are going to add an A record. So the A record will be pointing to the IP address. And that's also, I'll say add that A record. Here it says the existing record was pointing to this IP address, and the new record is going to be pointing to this IP address. So I'll just say confirm. Oh, one last thing I've forgotten here in the records or the name servers, I'm going to delete everything else and I only leave the 2 records that I've added. So just like this, I will remain with my 2 records, the CNAME that I just added and also the A record that I updated. And just like that, we have connected our domain from Hostinger to our Cloudways application. Sometimes it can take up to 72 hours for the DNS to propagate. To propagate means to update, and the system finally understands that now this domain will be pointing to this hosting provider. And that means that sometimes you may not be able to access your website. But once everything is updated, then you will be able to access your website using your new domain. Most times it works in just a couple of minutes. So let me try my luck. I'll come over here in the new tab and then I'll just try to access that domain. not yet there, so I hope it works out finally. Alright, I just checked after a few minutes and I realized that my DNS has, updated to my new IP address that is pointing to my Cloudways application. So I'm going to come here to Cloudways and then I'm going to come to domain. So where is the domain section? Domain management. And here I am going to say make this the primary and say set as primary. So that means that after the DNS updated and I set this as the primary domain, now all people who are going to be going to my website will be redirected or taken automatically to the primary domain. So let's wait for that to be updated. Just like that, we now have our domain set as primary, and we are going to go straight here to the SSL option and we are going to install a free SSL for our domain, and that is going to be the Let's Encrypt SSL. And here we are going to add the email address, and here we will add the domain just like that, and then I'll say install certificate. We need the SSL certificate so that your website is protected against intruders or people collecting any personal or payment information when they are booking or renting equipment on your WordPress website. So it takes a while to install. Now our SSL has been installed on our application and it will expire on the 27th of January, but that will also automatically renew, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. I've just opened up here a new browser and I'll add my domain name, and there it goes. So my website shows up. I have now a domain name attached to my Cloudways application or my WordPress website on Cloudways. And you can see here I can navigate through the different pages. And the website is, impressively performing well without even me adding any optimization or doing any optimization at the moment. Let me just take you here to the page speed insights from Google and just run a test. You see, I am getting 81% on mobile without touching anything to do with optimization, and on desktop I'm getting 97%. So my website is performing amazingly good without having to touch anything. So if I go ahead and add some caching and CDN, so probably I'll even square about 95% on mobile. So this is a very good place to start. Now let's try to log in back here into the dashboard, WP-admin. So that is how you go to access your dashboard for your WordPress website. And there I add my username and I add my password, and that should take me inside the dashboard of my WordPress website. So two things I want to show you from our booking calendar. Remember, we booked out some cameras, and actually when I come here to the calendars, you see bookings, you see that here we have a new booking. Someone was booking or someone was renting 2 Canon cameras right over here. Now this should show in our calendar system that those 2 cameras are booked and they are not available to be booked. So this is what they call real-time update of your booking calendar. And when we come here in the calendars and we look at the calendar, we should be able to see that on those days, these 2 cameras you see on these days, these cameras are not available, so they are fully booked, and I like that. So you see that you can even go ahead and click and say, okay, if someone does a manual booking, someone who doesn't come on the website and they just come to the store and they say, hey, I want to book, you can block out some days just like that, or you can even select multiple days and say, hey, those days are not available for, or this camera cannot be booked on those days. So I think now you get a gist of how you can set up this and you get started working out of the box without having a lot of headache. Now we are going to go back to Cloudways and I show you one last feature that you have to activate before you take your website live or before you start sharing your website to your clients. We are back here in Cloudways and I'm going to navigate straight to my applications. And inside my applications, I'll open up my application right now. And we are going to go straight down here to application settings and we are going to enable our Vanish. You remember we disabled Vanish at the start of this video, but now we're going to enable it because we want to enable this caching. And so here I enable that and then I confirm. And just like that, Cloudways offers us some out-of-the-box features like the caching feature, and then connecting your CDN to your Cloudways, and also getting a free SSL, free security for your applications, and of course, good performance out of the box like you have seen in this video. But I also want to say thank you to Cloudways for sponsoring this video and making it possible. And if you are new to Cloudways and would like to try it out, use the link right down in the description of this video and use the coupon code GOTECHUG to get 20% off your first 3 months purchase on Cloudways. Now, just like that, we have built our WordPress website in just under 1 hour using Cloudways as our hosting partner, and with MotoPress as the plugin that enables us to add the rental or the booking calendar on our website. Now, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. Let me know down in the comment box below. Otherwise, I hope you got a lot of value from this video, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.